one, and he is considered to be the pillar of the future India as the days go by. Mr. Mallya was elected as the chairman of United Breweries in 1983 at the ripe age of 28. When he became the chairman, he initiated a process of defining a corporate structure with performance accountability, inducting professional management and consolidating the empire into individual operating divisions. And as Professor Ghosh said, from 3.85 million cases in 1983, I think they're going to cross 40 million cases presently. Mr. Mallya is the chairman of various public companies in India and overseas. He has been the chairman of Aventis Pharma India as well as the chairman of Bayer Crop Science for over 20 years, in addition to his chairmanship of several other corporations. Mr. Mallya has received several professional awards both in India and overseas. He was conferred a doctorate of philosophy in business administration by the South California University. He was also nominated as the global leader for tomorrow by the World Economic Forum. Mr. Vijay Mallya always believed that corporations have a responsibility to society and to mankind. To this end, he has contributed generously to various charities and foundations in several countries. In addition to establishing the Mallya Hospital, the Mallya Aditi School, and the Vittal Mallya Scientific Research Foundation in Bangalore. I could just go on and on about Mr. Mallya's achievements, and I'm sure I would still not bridge the top of the iceberg. But I also know that I've kept you all waiting long enough for him. And on this note, I would like to invite on stage the one and only, the king of good times, Mr. Vijay Mallya.
Thank you very much. Hello everybody. First of all, my apologies for arriving late. It's a combination of leadership, vision, entrepreneurship and Bombay traffic. I applauded the group who selected me today. I think it's entirely consistent with what Professor Ghosh said. You have in front of you maybe a tutti frutti ice cream or a 3-in-1 as it is normally referred to, because I am a person of many different facets. Not because I entirely choose to be one with different facets, but as I will go on to explain, circumstances have been such through my life. It was very interesting that you have so kindly invited me to talk to you today. I must say that I thoroughly enjoy talking to students. I have been fortunate to go to other faculties as well. Essentially because I think that there is nothing better than the beauty of learning. I am today what I am because I have recognized the need to learn on a constant basis. And trust me, even now, irrespective of the successes or the failures that I have seen in my life, I believe that I continue to enjoy the process of learning. And I sometimes really wish that I had become a professor myself, because I love to teach and I love to share. But I guess one has to do what one has to do. Some say it's destiny, some say it's by choice, but whatever it may be, I thoroughly enjoy what I do and how I do it. Let me begin by addressing certain core values which are often talked about. One talks about leadership, one talks about vision, one talks about entrepreneurship. And somehow along the line one tends to get caught up in the beliefs that these are very special qualities, qualities that are bestowed only on a chosen few. I would like to challenge the very fundamentals of what we have as against what we extract from within. And trust me, what you can extract from within is a lot more than what anybody else can extract from within you. That is the fundamental. And the fundamental is self-confidence. If you have self-confidence, you believe in what you're doing, automatically, whether you realize it or not, you will delve into the depths of your own God-given talent and extricate a lot more from what you are blessed with, as opposed to what you really believe you could or could not do. All of us are blessed with certain levels of intelligence. I know we use the word fools and morons and duds and duffers and he's bright, I'm not, he's sharp, I'm not, he's brilliant, he's intelligent. These are but mere expressions. We all have a mental faculty. It is the access to that mental faculty that we should concentrate on, and the access of that mental faculty is driven by belief in oneself. There are so many challenges, including one this afternoon, that I have faced and continue to face, and it's a question of how I approach it. So having said that self-confidence is something that I agree you're not born with, but it is a question of believing in yourself and to sustain that belief. The trouble with some people, or most people, is that if you make a mistake or you suffer a setback, you don't want to tread on that territory anymore. You sort of look for alternative passage. The idea of developing self-confidence and self-belief is to go down a path and to stick with it. Perseverance pays the biggest, the richest dividends. I had no choice. When I was through school and college, I remember, let me take you back to when I was in the 9th standard. Those days we used to write what was known as the senior Cambridge examination. And during my school career all the way up to 9th standard, I used to be a kind of mid-ranker in my class. I used to be maybe 12 or 14 out of classes of 30 or 35. My father was an exceptionally intelligent man and was in the Doon School and excelled in his studies. And one day he sat me down and said, "This is unacceptable to me. I am absolutely disgraced by your performance, and I expect you to be right up there in your studies." And I was my usual playful self, more interested in cricket and loafing around and stuff like that. But when I put my mind to it, I'm pleased to say, I topped the class right through in class 9, 10 and 11, and also came first in the entire Calcutta University in my senior Cambridge exam. It taught me something. I moaned, I groaned, I complained, I went running to my mother, I said, "This is not done." I felt completely persecuted. But you know, I had no option because my father in that respect was uncompromising and inflexible. It was almost like robotic in nature. I had to do it. I knew at first there's no way I can do it. I used to look around and say, "Look, that guy has got consistently good marks. How can I ever match him? That guy is much better in mathematics than I am. How can I ever match him? I don't even understand chemistry. How can I match him?" Every single negative thought came into my mind until I realized from nothing else but the report card that I could do it. But perseverance paid. When my father suddenly died when I was 28 years old, and I was in New York, I had just arrived there, and on the Air India flight back, it quickly dawned on me, the buck stops with me. And trust me, there were many regents. I don't know if you understand exactly what I mean by regents, but there were several other very senior officers in the UB group who were trying to propagate a theory that I was too young, too immature, and too inexperienced to become the chairman of UB, a public company. And they felt that they should take charge while I kind of grew up into a position of seniority to take charge. And I still vividly remember October of 1983 when I was sitting in the audience like you are today with the senior officials of the UB group who in front of the shareholders who were present at about 3,000 in number, and they condoled my father's sad demise. And then came the question of who would be elected chairman of United Breweries. I was pleasantly surprised when shareholders themselves got up from the floor and unanimously proposed my name. It was something that I least expected, but it happened. Once it happened,